Hey team, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to take this power steering pump off this 2013 Honda Odyssey. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this power steering hose here. We're probably going to lose a little bit of fluid as we remove it. It's fine, it is what it is. There we go. Yeah, we did lose a little, but not too much. And I'm just going to route this hose up here and keep that from losing any more fluid. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and get this serpentine belt off. I've got my serpentine belt tool here. I'm going to snake it down in here and engage it onto the serpentine tensioner. You want to make sure that you leave yourself enough room when you put this on that when tension is released, it doesn't hit the radiator support up here. If it does, when you get the belt off, you're not going to be able to get the tool off and out of your way. So just make sure when you put the tool in, it's kind of vertical straight up, and that'll give you enough room to release it. So we're going to go ahead, walk this belt off the power steering pump here. I'm going to hold on to it so it doesn't fall off completely. Release my tension on my tensioner. Put my tool out of the way, and then I'm going to use this brake caliper tool to just hold the belt up so we don't lose it down to the bottom of the engine compartment and then have to reroute the whole belt later. Okay, so now that we've got that done, I'm going to take my, let's see, this is a 10 millimeter, should have known. And we're going to loosen up these two bolts right here on top of the power steering pump that hold the line coming off the top. Okay, you want to make sure you put those in a safe place because you're going to be reusing them. And carefully remove this off the top of the power steering pump. Again, you might lose some fluid there, and then you just want to get it up and out of the way while you're working. So we're going to kind of stash that behind the fuse box for now. There we go. That's good. Okay, so now what we want to do is on the back side right here. Unfortunately, you can't see it. On the back side right here, we're going to remove that. That's the 10 millimeter. All right, misspoke. That appears to be a 12 millimeter. Go ahead and remove that one. And then we're going to go ahead and down on the bottom of the front side of the power steering pump. Hopefully you can see it down in here. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. Right where my finger is another bolt. So you're going to want to get that one down there as well. There you go. You can see it down there. So, yep, you're going to want to get that one out of the way as well. So I will go ahead and do that. I left the other bolt in to hold the power steering pump in place. I just loosened it and backed it out a couple turns while I work on this bottom one. That'll keep it from falling off and dumping all this fluid out because I want to control that. Make sure I don't dump it all over the engine. Almost got this bottom bolt out here. It's coming out nice. Okay, I've got that. Put it over here with my other bolts. Now I'm gonna go get the back one off completely. Okay, now that we've got everything disassembled, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this pump out. What you wanna do is take this connector off, this electrical piece right there. And it's gonna be a tight fit. Be careful of your AC lines here, but you'll be able to sneak it through. Hindsight being 20/20, I kind of wish I took the pulley off first, but hey, that's how we learn, right? So you can just work it right out and get it out. Now she's out. Okay, I'm back. I've rebuilt the power steering pump. Got it right here. New bearing in there, all new seals inside and everything. So it's ready to go back in. And I'll have a video on that also, so you can check that out if you want to try to rebuild your pump. If you're mechanically inclined, I highly recommend it. A new pump through Honda was going to be $800. A rebuilt one through Honda was going to be $600. A new aftermarket was going to be over $300, and a rebuilt aftermarket was going to be almost $200. So I bought all the parts online that I needed. Look, they have a nice exploded diagram on the Honda website, the parts website, that you can go through and ordered it from an online retailer for Honda parts, which is a dealership out in Massachusetts, and had everything delivered to my house for like $60 with taxes and shipping. All right, so I haven't gone and put on the pulley yet. Like I said, when I was taking it out, I wish I had taken the pulley off. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and then I'm going to put the pulley back on, which is going to make things just a breeze. There we go. So got it in. We're going to line up our 2 bolt holes here, get everything into position. Got a bolt hole there. So I'll go ahead and get that started. Make sure I got the one on the bottom of the line too. There we go. Always turn your bolts backwards until they drop in, and then turn them by hand. That way you won't cross thread. And we got the bolt on the bottom, so we'll put that in by feel. I hear it drop. I'm going to turn it backwards. There, I heard the threads click. Now I'm just going to turn this by hand. Okay, I got that there. I'll grab my ratchet with my 12mm. Fortunately, I do not know the torque specs for this, and that kind of bugs me because I usually like to torque things to spec, but it was not on that tight, so I'm not going to reef on it putting it back together. There we go. I feel comfortable with that. That feels good. That feels good too. Okay, so it's on there. So now real quick, because it's top of mind and I don't want to forget, let's put this electrical connector back on where it goes so we don't have any issues. We'll check engine lights or anything like that. Nobody needs those these days. There we go. That's back on. All right, so I'm going to leave this hose off for now so I can get my serpentine belt tool in there. The next thing I'm going to actually do is I'm actually going to put the pulley on. So I got the pulley. I'm going to snug that up by hand until I have the belt on, because once I have the belt on, then the belt will keep it in place, and I can tighten that up. So now I'm going to take my upper power steering hose here. I'm going to change out the O-ring that's on there first. This is an 11-year-old car. It's an 11-year-old O-ring. It's like $1.50. Let's just change it out that way. We have peace of mind to know that it's not leaking down the road. O-rings can go forever until you disturb them, and then that's when they start leaking, my opinion. Yours may vary. If it does, let me know in the comments. I'm learning new things every day. Maybe I'll learn something in the comments section today. Okay, so I'm going to take this O-ring. I'm just going to work it onto there. Pray it doesn't fly across the garage. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take a paper towel, clean section of paper towel, clean this orifice off here, down there, in there. And we're going to go ahead. There we go. That popped right in nicely. Take these two. Drop them in there like so. Swap out my 12 for a 10 millimeter. Again, I don't have a torque spec, but throw in a little 10 millimeter bolts. Don't go for gold on them. Just get them on there. Just enough so they won't back off. So now what I'm going to do is go down here, disconnect my belt from my stay. Make sure it's on the crank pulley, which it seems to be. Make sure it's around. Okay, all right, the belt is on. What I didn't want to have happen happened, but it actually wasn't that hard to recover from, believe it or not. It didn't come all the way off, just partially off. So I'm just going to double check, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be and seated. Double check that. You don't want a serpentine belt flying off on you. Not a good time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-fill the power steering pump now. Get some fluid in there so we don't have an airlock when we go to start the car. There we go. It's back in. Don't forget to bleed the system. Check your levels. There's bleeding procedures online, so I'm not going to go through that here. But good luck. You should be able to do it yourself with no problems. Again, like I said, check out my video on how to rebuild the power steering pump and save yourself a lot of money. Thanks for stopping in today, and stop into the channel soon to see more videos, and click like and subscribe. Subscribe will get you notified of new content coming up. Thank you.